Welcome to another episode of PopCity. I'm Melissa Niederman.
And I'm Renae Medor.
And we have one of the hardest working people here in our desert, Jeff Hocker of Hocker Productions. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
I'm
I've
so
known you guys for a
you.
long time.
I know, I was trying
and
to
I don't think
figure
I've
out-
ever been on PopCity before.
No, yeah, we had it when Bobby was here, and
Yeah.
now we're doing it on our own. I was just saying to Renae, I can't even remember how we met. It must have been from an event, since that's...
Exactly. I
Yeah.
can't remember either. Some event.
Yeah, well, and I've worked with so many different clients here in the Valley doing PR and marketing. You know, I run into people all the time and they know me.
Right.
And
But
you're
I'm
like, I can't remember.
You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
racking my brain. Where do I know this person from? Plus, I belong to a lot of chambers and stuff too. So I go to mixers and all that.
You are so busy. First of all, tell everyone listening what your production company does. I know you do a lot of PR, but there's more to it than just that.
Right.
Yeah, it's Hocker Productions, and people ask me, well, are you an event planner?
Okay.
Well, there's a big difference between an event planner and being an executive producer.
Right.
You're responsible for everything. What I've tried to do over the last few years is really just fine-tune my business and work on the productions that I own.
Right.
And that it's part of Hocker Productions. A couple years ago during COVID, I actually became a 501c3.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic.
Which, one of the reasons I did that is because I do this event called the Palm Springs Health Run and Wellness Festival, and all the hospitals are involved.
That's great.
And at one point they go, you're a for-profit, we can't give you money anymore. And I thought, okay, what do I do to change that?
Right.
And when I became a nonprofit, people like Tenet Health and Eisenhower were able to then fund the event.
Tell us more about that event, because I did see it online and I want to know a little more about that.
So it first started with Steve Punier, who is the mayor of Palm Springs. And he's like, I really, as part of me being mayor, I really want to do more as it relates to not only the city being healthy, but also, runners and all that, because he was a really avid runner. Oh. And so originally it was called Healthy Planet, Healthy You. And it indoctrinated all of these kind of companies that did anything that related to hydrogen fuel cell or any new, wind power, any new technologies that had to do with saving the planet.
Okay.
So his whole philosophy was that if people took care of their body, they would probably take care of their planet as well.
Right.
And we did. We got a lot of people who were very interested in that. And then over the years, I was the executive producer from the very beginning.
Wow. And when did it start? When was the
Oh,
inception?
God, this was probably about 11 or 12 years ago.
Wow.
And so over the years, it sort of morphed and changed, and it went away from all of the technical side and became more of a health and wellness event.
Okay.
The city decided they kind of got rid of some of the sustainability part of the department in the city, and when that happened, all the hospitals came to me and they said, we want you to still do this.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to help fund the event. And then I changed the name and made it part of Hocker Productions. And so now it's become one of the largest events of its kind.
That's fantastic.
And what time of year do you usually do it?
It's January 27th, 2024.
Okay.
And all of the Desert Oasis Healthcare, DAP Health, Eisenhower, Desert Healthcare Network, who will be the presenting sponsor next year, and Desert Care Network are all involved.
Fantastic.
And what they do is they have free testing for everyone.
Oh, that's great.
So in one location, you can get vaccines as well.
Oh, wow.
COVID, HIV, anything that you want, you can get there. And we work with LifeStream Blood Bank to do a blood drive each year.
Oh,
Great.
that's
So
wonderful.
yeah, so of course they want to fund it because they're like,
course.
wow, where else can you do that?
Absolutely.
Right.
That's
great.
fantastic.
And where will it be held?
It's at Ruth Hardy Park,
Okay.
which has kind of been where it's been from the very beginning.
That's where the AIDS Walk is, correct?
It is,
Okay.
yeah.
And that's in October, I think?
Yeah, and it's no longer called the AIDS Walk. It's now called DAP Equity Walk.
Okay.
So they kind of flipped it a little bit.
All right, I
Great.
think I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I work on that as well.
That's what I thought.
I don't know how you have any time to do
You're
anything else.
jack of
I
all
don't.
trades.
It's just, do you have people who work with you in your company?
I do. I have a variety of different contractors, and what I learned when you're producing events is that you have to be very meticulous with line item budgets.
I bet.
And you never add anything.
Doing a movie.
Yes, exactly.
Yep. You can never add anything on unless you have some way to pay for it.
Right.
So, and that's how you can make money. You know, there's been events in the early days where I didn't make money.
My best.
Yeah.
You know, you work really hard, but it's all about building relationships.
Absolutely.
And over the
this
years-
city is great for building relationships.
And you've been
So
doing
easy.
this since 2001, or you just moved here in 2001?
Without going into too much detail, on paper I thought I was retired. I worked for a high-tech company. We were pre-IPO in San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
And the first day we went public, it went public at $25 a share and went up to $75 on the first day of trading.
Sweet.
Wow.
You can't even imagine the parties that we had.
Oh, my God.
Dang, I want
Wow.
They flew 250 of the sales and marketing team to New Orleans for the weekend.
Oh, my
Sweet.
gosh. How fun.
It was like amazing.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I quit my job after 2.5 years and I moved to Palm Springs, and the stock decided it was going to go like this.
Oh, jeez.
So I was looking for a job, and in the newspaper it said, "Travel the world, promote Palm Springs."
Oh.
Wow.
And I was like,
Ding,
oh,
ding.
You're
I could do that.
Yeah.
So I went and applied, and she hired me on the spot.
Wow.
She knew the experience that I had. And for 4 years, I worked for the Palm Springs Bureau of Tourism. When I look back at my career, you know, you always try to find new ways to promote what you already know. You know, look at companies that say, wow, you know, I can help them expand.
Right.
And I've been lucky in that way.
That's great.
And then after 4 years of traveling around, I was so tired.
I bet.
Decided, you know what, I'm going to start my own business.
Good for
Because I
you.
knew everybody.
Yeah.
By this
Exactly.
time,
I knew all the
you have
hoteliers,
connections.
all the attractions,
Right.
all the, you know, stores, all the restaurants. And from the very beginning, in fact, you probably know Dan Foley Designs
of course, yeah.
was one of my first clients.
Oh my gosh, he's doing my mom's house. Right
Yeah.
now.
And
That's
the
hilarious.
second client I got was Idlewild Arts Academy,
Oh, that's a
which
great
was
one.
great
Yes.
because I learned a lot about the performing arts that I didn't know previously, and I was producing all the different events that they would do off-site.
We have a lot of things coming up. Obviously, the one we already talked about in January, but let's go to October. You have your big Halloween event. How many
Yeah.
years has it been now? That you do it?
I believe it's the 9th year. Originally, it was a very small event held on Arenas Road,
Right.
where all the bars are. And one of the bar owners came to me, Dick Haskamp, who's no longer with us with Street Bar, came to me and he goes, "I really need you to take this event over." And I was like, "Oh, well, okay, how do we fund it?"
Right.
Yeah.
Are you funding it?
I know,
That's
right?
always the first
Number
question.
one.
Yes.
Everything.
So he said, "Well, we'll help."
Oh, great.
Oh, wow.
So all the bars from the very beginning and all the retail stores and all the restaurants from the very beginning have all helped.
Wow, that's fantastic.
It continues to be a free event for everyone.
Because of all the
help.
restaurants and bars helping?
Yeah, well, and we get presenting sponsors.
Now, that's
This year it's going to be Tito's Vodka,
Great. Nice.
Jägermeister.
Oh,
We
wow.
love that.
Gosh.
Aperol,
Oh, Aperol Spritz.
Red Bull.
Wow.
You know, so a lot
you
of
got great names.
we go to
Yeah.
these companies because they're the ones with the money.
Sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know, with a lot of charity events here in the Valley, it's usually individual donors.
Yes.
For an event like this, it's usually
need to be
corporate.
corporate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you have guest performers. Who are they this
Yeah.
year? Who are the guest
Well, we got
performers?
some really cool people. So I've always thought, you know, I really want to do a festival that really showcases very talented singers
Right.
and bands. So over the years for Halloween, we've had Debbie Holiday,
Yes.
we've had Christine W.
Right.
We had Evelyn Champagne King
Oh,
and her
that's
band
right.
one
Yeah,
year.
right.
And last year we had some really talented people from American Idol and America's Got Talent. We had Ada Vox and Willie Gomez and some other people. But this year I wanted to really focus on female artists. So
Yay.
so we're having it Carmit, who is of the Pussycat Dolls.
I saw that.
okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so
I
cool.
love that.
She is the only one of them that's still singing,
Really?
and singing their songs.
Oh my
So
God.
it's
Wow.
all Pussycat Doll songs, and then she has two really dynamic dancers that come up and dance
that
with
would
her.
be fun.
That's gonna
And then we have this woman who is friends of hers. She's from the UK, and her label is the Queen of Electro,
Oh.
what's
which
that?
is electronic music.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
But she comes out in these wild costumes, and the beat is, you cannot help but dance.
I bet.
That's exciting, but that's October 29th.
It is.
Okay.
And what we do is we sell VIP tickets. It's free to the general public.
Okay.
Okay.
We ask for a donation to support our charities,
Sure.
which are the DAP Health, LGBT Community Center, Palm Springs Gay Men's Chorus, which I sing in. I'm a second tenor.
Oh, wow.
And so we have buckets out there and we raise money. But if people want to get VIP tickets and have that experience where
What
they
do
get
they
to
get?
take pictures with the artist,
Okay. So,
free bar.
wow. Tito's vodka.
Tito's Vodka, they pay $75 and
That's
Wow.
$75. That's it?
all you
VIP?
can drink.
Wow.
And this year we're going to have I Heart Mac and Cheese.
Oh.
That's going to be back
Oh my
there.
God, I haven't
Yeah.
tried that yet.
So
I
that'll
haven't
be
tried
fun.
it yet either. I'm
I'm-
going to try it.
so that sounds
Yeah.
like fun. We're going to be speaking to some of the people who are very much involved in the other big event that you're involved in.
Yes.
You just want to give us a little snippet of the one night only?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
what you
One
can-
night only this year is all about Vegas.
Oh,
It's
nice.
called the Golden Age of Vegas.
Oh.
And let me tell you, it's just as star-studded as it's ever been. Jennifer Lee Warren,
Wow.
Debbie Boone.
Yay!
We
you
love
light up my heart.
Debbie.
We love her.
I knew
Yeah.
that song by heart. I was telling
Oh,
Melissa.
yeah.
I used to sing it to my mom.
Well, she was in it last year and sang "You Light Up My Life,"
Yeah.
and she doesn't miss a beat.
She's
Her
amazing.
voice is as
Still.
good as it ever was.
She looks amazing, too.
looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
I saw her
Beautiful.
promotion video you
Yeah,
guys did.
yeah. So, and with some favorites that are coming back: Billy Stritch, Jason Graw,
Oh, wow.
Nicholas King, and Seth Seitz. They're all over the country right now, touring together, doing
Oh,
Is it
Two-man
your job
show.
to get the
all the
entertainment-
promotion.
all the promotion for it.
Yeah, I do all the PR and marketing for
Okay,
the
somebody
event.
else gets
Wow.
all the talent then.
Yeah, Michael Childers,
it-
really, they're all people he knows.
Yeah, that's
Well, I
great.
would
And
Yeah.
Scott Coulter and Todd Schroeder, I
Right.
mean, they
Yeah.
all work in tandem.
Sure. Yeah.
Because what happens, a lot of times people have to fall out because they've got another
Schedule
gig.
conflict, yeah.
Yeah, like somebody will go on Broadway or they'll be doing a movie. We had a Jason Alexander that was going to do it last
wow.
year.
Oh, he would have been.
And he was producing a movie, so he had to.
Wow.
So
Wow.
you never
That's
know.
exciting.
You never
And
know.
when
That's
is
why
the
you always
date?
do backup.
Yeah,
people,
you
you know?
Have to. You really do.
And when
Yeah.
is the date for that?
The date is
November 8th, right?
Yep.
8th?
Yep.
November 8th. And
Yeah.
in the Column Theater, which is one of the
Yeah.
most beautiful places to see
Wow.
a show. We got to get Rick there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tickets go on sale September 6th at McAllenTheater.com.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay, great.
Okay.
And it benefits Eisenhower.
Barbara.
Barbara Sinatra. This
Well,
is the
Barbara Sinatra Children's Center is actually part of Eisenhower.
Right. right.
And so last year we raised $600,000.
What? Wow.
You have a lot going on.
You do.
Yeah, I mean, with what I do, you have to really enjoy it.
because it takes so
It
much.
takes so much
It's
time
not a
and
9 to
energy.
5 job.
No.
It's
No, it's
every
not.
moment of your
No,
life
and
job.
I have a variety of different clients who I do marketing and PR for, and they have events too. So I'm
Right.
constantly
Right.
going, and by the end of the day, you're tired.
Yes,
You know, you
absolutely.
wanna have a
You're-
glass of wine.
You do.
Right, right.
Just to wind down. No pun
So
intended.
you do PR for actual, just regular businesses as
Yeah.
well, right?
Yeah, I represent Jewish Federation of the Desert,
Okay.
Palm Springs Friends of Philharmonic,
Oh, wow.
which brings in huge orchestras to the McAllen.
Right, yes.
It's the 50th anniversary season.
You're a busy guy.
You know, I
I'm
think-
exhausted.
I
just
know
listening
it.
to you.
Well, I think, you probably knew Earl Greenberg.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
So I learned a lot from him. We became friends. And in fact, when he passed away, David Pete and I went into business together. And one of the things I learned from Earl was relationships and partnering your clients together. One of the things he would do is he would buy a table at a charity event, and he, instead of inviting all of his friends, he would invite all of his clients. And so his clients would get together and they'd start talking, and they're like, oh, well, what if we did this together? And over time, it really did well for his business.
Wow.
And that's what I do a lot now.
Wow.
That's
So
great.
yeah, they all become friends of yours as well, but you know,
Smart,
it's a great way. You know, I was a mentor for high school kids, and that was one of the things that I was really adamant about. Public speaking and relationship building. Do we have time to talk about the Food and Wine Festival real quick?
Yes, we do, and then we're
Absolutely.
going to ask you a couple of personal questions.
Okay.
Yes, but just fun.
Well,
yes.
so I've always had this passion for food and wine, and I'm a trained butcher. I worked as a butcher for 6 years when I was
What don't you do?
when I was
Oh my God. He's a jack of all trades.
when I was a kid, from the time I was 15 to 21, I worked as a butcher.
Oh my gosh.
And so at a very early age, I was already telling our customers how to pair wine with their food, right?
That is hilarious.
And so just over the years, you know, it's been a real big passion. And I have a good friend. She's a wine broker. And so we did the Palm Springs Food and Wine Festival a few years ago, and we decided to bring it back. You know, that was one of the events. It was a little tough back then because I wasn't really up on how to pay for everything.
Right.
So this time around, we're working with the city, the chamber, the visitors bureau, all that kind of stuff. And it's called the Palm Springs Food and Wine Festival.
I love it.
And we're bringing in great chefs. Martin Yan from Yan Can Cook, Tanya Holland, Susan Feniger, who is known for Border Grill in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you've ever heard of her and Mary Sue Milliken. Well, they're opening a new restaurant in Palm Springs called Alice B's.
Oh,
where? And it's going to be, there's a big complex on Tockwitz called Living Out. It's a retirement community, and they're opening their restaurant there.
In there, wow.
Yeah, and so, and one of the things I learned from the past is when you do these events, you need to work with people that you like.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And bring on partners that you feel comfortable with that are the best at what they do. So we have handpicked all the top restaurants in Palm Springs. We're bringing in all these chefs and all these restaurants that, again, possibly have a relationship with the Culinary Institute, which is one of the beneficiaries, but also are on the cutting edge of what they do.
Right.
New techniques, new types of food, pairing different types of food together, and also knowing about how to pair the wines.
That's great.
So
that'll be a fantastic
yeah,
event.
the event's going to be November 11th and 12th, and the website is palmspringsfoodandwine.org, and you can find all the logos for all the wineries.
Great.
So-
Are you guys exhausted for him? Because I certainly am.
He's got to go home and have a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Oh, I probably will.
Oh, there you go.
Appreciate you being here.
We
but
do.
Now we're going to ask you some strange questions.
3 rapid fire questions.
Okay.
The first one is, I'm going to change it up a bit.
Okay.
What would you tell your younger self now that you've been through your life for advice? Or not even just advice, of just, you know, what you can give someone. If you're talking to a 15-year-old or a 13-year-old, what would you say to yourself?
I would say travel.
Really?
Yeah, you know, travel as much as you can, especially when you're younger, because that's when you have the flexibility of scheduling, and you learn so much.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I think it also brings on some empathy for other people because you're getting
Other
to know
cultures.
the cultures.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that, you know, when I went to other countries and saw the really super rich and the really poor, it really put it in perspective on how fortunate we are in America.
Exactly.
You know, we have homeless problems, but we don't have the poverty that other countries
Oh,
have.
India, my son, the stories. He won't even tell me some of them after he had been there for a while.
Yeah, it's so
Gosh.
sad. Yeah.
If you could have dinner with anybody, dead or alive, who would you choose?
Maya Angelou.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Why?
Yeah.
I mean, I love that
Yeah, we love
answer.
Always been inspired by her. Just she had a way of putting words together that I've never seen anybody be able to do that before.
You're right. Yep.
And
Very special.
every time she would tell a story, when she got done, you were like, wow, I didn't even think about that.
I know the
Yeah.
words that
Just-
written words are absolutely
amazing.
stunning,
Yeah.
and beautiful,
Yeah.
and inspiring. Good choice.
Good choice.
I like it. Okay, last question. If you have a fear of something, I don't know what that is. What would you want to do, even if you could just get rid of that fear? Like, again, we gave this example. Somebody's afraid of heights, so they would want to bungee jump.
Yeah.
Things like, whether it be being on stage, well, you are on stage, so you don't
All
have
the
that
time,
fear.
yeah.
Some people have fear, they wish they could do that. Is there anything
Well, I'll
in
tell
your
you, there
life-
is a fear that goes along with being on stage that's really healthy. You know, you want to have those butterflies
Right.
because it makes you perform better.
Right.
So there you go. So fear is important in a little bit of everything you do.
I'm not afraid of a lot of things, but when I was younger, also I was a surfer.
Oh.
And sharks.
Oh,
yes.
God!
That-
Now we hear more and
Going
more
in the
about
ocean.
That
it.
was
Yeah.
always a fear.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that
you
one.
you just never know if they're out there.
Do you like going in the ocean? No?
Yeah. I go to San Diego a lot. I
Oh,
love the
fun.
beaches in San Diego.
Yeah.
Because they're so
great.
accessible.
They
you just
are.
drive up and you're
Oh,
there.
yeah,
Right there. I know. It's so true.
In LA, you're like driving for
Oh my
hours
God,
looking
it's like,
for
where do you
parking.
park? Yeah, exactly.
That's true. That's true. Well, good choices. Boy, you're quite the guy, and we're really very impressed
Yes.
and thankful you came on
Oh,
today.
thank you.
Thank you for taking the
Appreciate it.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's well worth it.
Cool.
Look at these ladies. They're amazing.
Let's hope so.
Look at all these books they've read.
Yeah, that's my
These are all the
dad.
books her dad has written.
My 150 books. My dad keeps
my
giving me
gosh.
more books to put in. My house is sinking slowly, but it's okay. Well, anyway, thank you for joining us,
Thank
Jeff.
you
you.
so much. We appreciate it.
And thank you for being with us again on Pop City.
See you soon.